been up to, Greg? Give me the lowdown, man. What's been going on? You don't you have something to share for our new listeners? Didn't you do something recently in the last couple days?
I got married.
Oh
to
my
a new
goodness!
home. I moved. Yeah, I moved.
And how did that go, man? I hate moving, dude. I hate moving so much.
Yeah, next time I move, I'm definitely gonna hire movers. I did this solo. I did this by myself. Just so that I could say that I did it. I don't know. You know, I've always relied on people, which is not a bad thing. I have friends that would want to help. Like, I got a message from Joe saying, dude, I feel bad not helping you. But I told all my friends, I was like, no, it's cool. Like, let me do this myself. But after doing it, I was like, fuck, I should have just asked for help.
Did you do it all in one swoop, or did you start moving stuff in like smaller things first?
No, I did like the last 3 weeks. I would go like drop a load here, go back to my house, live there for like 2 days, drop another load. And then the last load was basically getting a U-Haul and getting my bed and dresser and stuff like that with my dad.
Yeah. I hate moving. I just like my shit to be where it always is. Like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kid you not, like my laundry alternates between the end of my bed and my gaming chair. Like whenever I fold it, my dresser's right there and I don't put it away. I just fold it, and then it just, when I game, I put it on my bed. When I go to bed, I put it on my chair. I don't know. I hate moving, dude. It's so
I've lost wires. Things aren't like set up right. It's a lot of mental work.
It's such a tedious process. Like, oh my God, like I don't want my clothes to get dirty, so I need to like bag them up or put them in a box. And then it's like all your shit is in this like collection of boxes. And then it's like you get it to the new place, and then your new place is like clean and new. And now you're like having to like rip boxes open and like put everything where it needs to go. It's just so tedious and just so annoying.
It also feels weird to put a life in a box. Like I put like memories and packing up the old stream room. I was like looking at stuff. I was like, damn, bro, I haven't used this in like ever. And like now it just sits in a box, or I don't know. It's just weird. It's just like packing your life in a box and then unpacking it.
I think like nothing ever happened. I think like low-key also the reason why I hate moving is because I like you were talking about losing cables. Like I hoard electric shit, like cables, or like, you know.
I think everyone does. My dad does that. It's like old like RCA cables and shit.
And I'm just like, dude, I don't need this VGA cable anymore, dude. Like my computer has a fucking like an HDMI port and a display port cable. Like I don't need this. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, I might need it later. I'm like, no, you're not, dude. You're not gonna use this VGA cable ever, because like, are you gonna game in like, you know, 480p again? Like, what are you doing, dude?
Besides your computer, what's like the biggest thing you would make sure you packed and like unpack first?
Oh man, I mean, that to me that question's easy, and I'll tell you why it's easy for me to answer that.
Okay.
I have moved since 2012. I have moved, let me just count it real quick. I moved from Charlotte to Spartanburg, South Carolina. From Spartanburg, South Carolina to Asheville, North Carolina. So that's twice. From Asheville, North Carolina back to Charlotte. In Charlotte, I moved in the city once, so that's 4. I moved from Charlotte to Atlanta to my apartment. From my apartment in Atlanta to my first house in Atlanta, and then from the rented house in Atlanta to my bought home in Atlanta earlier this year. So I've moved 7 times.
I feel like you and I are the same. I think I moved 7 my whole life.
And it was just like, it was just a byproduct of like being in my early 20s, like chasing these promotions in this retail career that I was doing. And just being like, oh, you'll get more money if you run this place. You'll get more money if you move here. You'll get a title change if you go here. So I did it, and I slaved away for fucking ever. But to answer your question about the shit, like the important shit. So the most recent couple times I've moved, obviously my computer is number one. Like I need my computer. If I have nothing else,
that's like another life on it.
Nothing.
You know,
like I could go and like lose my underwear moving, but I can't lose my computer. Like I would fucking commando my shit before I lost my computer. I think the other
That's weird,
thing
but
that it would be my ironically enough, it'd be my computer, my fucking hats, only because I have so many of them in my closet.
you have a lot of hats, I've noticed.
Dude, I have a shit ton of hats. Like I look around my room right now and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like another 30 behind me, and like this, like my mom got me this rack for my fucking hats because they were like, I would just throw them everywhere, dude.
Just
They'd be
stack
on my
'em.
dresser, on my floor, my doorknob to my closet. It'd be on my computer. Um, I honestly, I have like 400 hats. I have so many hats, in fact, that I couldn't even fit all of them in my closet. And
Jesus.
I had to put a good portion of them, the ones that I quote unquote wear the least, which is a bunch of them, in a big like plastic box, and I put them in the attic.
You know, that's crazy. And I just want to go into it that you pay bald tax. I feel like, you know, because people have to pay to see, but like you want to protect your head.
I used to pay a bald tax because when I worked at Lids, that's where I did retail.
Okay.
I would get a discount, be 40% off, right? But when I became a district manager for that company, when I went to home office in Indianapolis, our buyers, when we would go for like the pre-Christmas meeting, the spring awards and all that shit, these vendors would give me literal free product. Like I went to remember the duffel bag that I came to see you with, that I brought my shit in?
That was a nice duffel bag.
That duffel bag, that Adidas duffel bag, they gave to me during one of my trips there, right? And it was empty. When I left to come back from Indiana back to Charlotte, that whole duffel bag was full of hats of all the free shit they gave me. So I basically had to pay for an additional add-on carriage or an add-on luggage, because they gave me so much shit that I couldn't say no to it. I'm like, dude, free hats. I'm bald and I wear hats every day. Fuck it, give me all that shit. Let's do it. So it'd be my computer, my hats, and then probably there's a specific set of shorts that I wear when I come home from work that are just the most comfortable shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
It would be that specific pair of shorts.
I feel like most dudes have some type of comfy pants, dude, that you just have to rock forever.
In my fall/winter phase, it's like these black sweatpants that I'm wearing right now. But in the summertime and spring and even early fall, it's those pairs of shorts that I'm like, dude, I'm home from work. Fuck these jeans. Like, let me put my shorts on and like chill.
I'm weird, and like people call me a psychopath. I wear jeans in the summer. I just feel so comfy. Sometimes shorts, but I mean, I'm in Arizona too, which is more wild. But
so I used to do that. I used to do jeans all the time.
Yeah,
but dude, as the weather and the climate has gotten like shifted and become more extreme to be hotter in the summer, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I just can't do it unless I'm going out in the evening when it's cooler. Like I'll wear jeans in the evening time when it's cooler, like going to the club or whatever, movie or whatever. But in the daytime, bro, when it's especially here in Georgia, when it's like 93 degrees with humidity and it feels like 105, like, nah, bro.
You're actually spitting, because if it was humid, like, and the only time I've only been in humid weather is Hawaii, like sticky. Yeah, no, I couldn't do it.
It is the worst, bro. It is the worst. So
dry heat's different, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, I got to see the experience. I got to experience it firsthand when I came to visit, and I was like, man, it's hot. Like in my head, I don't think I ever said this out loud, but I'm like, damn, it's hot here, but like, it's like not that bad. It's really not that bad because I'm not like, I don't feel wet and sticky.
Yeah. You just get in burn. That's what it is. You're like in an oven. And you could
yeah. So it's like I'm a pizza slice, dude.
You're just like a pizza slice. You're just getting cooked a little bit.
Skin fried. just getting a little bit fried.
That's okay, dude. That's all right.
So what's the weather like in January up there? Because with this PTO time, I'm gonna fucking use it. Like I'd rather use it than get it paid out, because I mean, whatever.
Sure,
I'm dead serious about Vegas, bro. I really am serious about Vegas.
It's actually really nice. I mean, so Arizona's a little different. It gets, I mean, obviously colder. Vegas, it's more windier, so more cold. So if you want to, I don't know, if you want to do PTO, come to AZ, and then we just go up to Vegas.
Yeah, dude, I found
it's whatever you want to do.
I read this article. It's like your technology listens to you, Chad. I know everybody knows that shit, but like I was talking, like me and you were talking about it, or I was typing it in your chat or whatever, and then all of a sudden I got recommended this article on I think it was like CNN or MSNBC or some shit, and it was about, do you know what skip lagging is? Like, do you know what that is when it comes to air travel?
I have no idea. Is that like, is that like jet lag or?
No, so let me break it down to you. Give me a place you want to visit that you don't want to spend a shit ton of money flying to, like in the US. It could even be international.
Let's just say Chicago. I would love to go to Chicago one day.
Great choice. I've been to Chicago back-to-back years, the last 2 years for my birthday, and I've had an absolute blast both times. But so listen, you want to get to Chicago from Arizona, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you look at a direct flight from where you live in Arizona to Chicago, and it's, let's say it's $400 round trip, right?
Yeah.
And you're usually like,
sounds
oh,
right.
you know, I'll do that. I budgeted that into my my plan for this trip. Instead, look for a flight where you're going from Arizona and you're ending up in like Boston,
Okay.
right? That's the final destination, and you have a connecting flight in Chicago.
Oh my God, that's smart, dude.
So listen. So that flight, you're going further. It's like, let's say instead of it being $400, it's $260. So you take that flight, you land in Chicago for the connecting flight, and you never get on the connecting flight to Boston. You just saved $140 on the flight by not taking the connecting flight.
Why
and
is
then
that
you
so
just have
big brain?
Oh, dude, apparently, dude, just based off this article that I was reading, motherfuckers are doing this shit so much that airlines are getting pissed, but they can't do anything.
You can't be like, hey, make sure you get on your flight.
And the other thing is like, dude, if I were to do that with Delta, every single time when I flew to Phoenix to come visit, there was people on standby waiting to see if people wouldn't show up to get on that flight to Arizona, that they were like offering gift cards and credits. So like, hey, who wants to give up their seat and get on a later flight so one of our standbys can go on? And I was like, dude, I think that's a win-win, because I get a flight for cheap and I end up ultimately where I want to go without having to connect to this other place. And somebody takes my empty seat that's been waiting on it.
Yeah.
And then I just find another flight back. So I was actually looking at the website that they linked in the article, and I was doing the trip to AZ, and it was like, hey, instead of flying direct from here to AZ and spending $250 or $350, whatever it was, I'm gonna basically pick a flight from Atlanta. That's gonna the final destination is like Seattle or like somewhere out in the West Coast, and there's a connecting flight in Arizona. So I go there, I land, I never get on the other flight, and then I just Uber to wherever we're gonna drink or whatever, and then I find a similar flight back home. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, who wouldn't do that? That's like, if you're saving $150 to $250 on a flight, motherfucker, that's more money to like drink.
You blew my brain. Like, now when I look at traveling, I'm like, I could be a mastermind at this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, this lady that they interviewed in that article was like,
damn,
hey, you know, I was doing a vacation where I was going to London from, I think she lived in like Minneapolis or something, but she bought a flight that was cheaper that connected in London, but the ultimate final destination for that flight was like Barcelona or some shit. She saved like $600 by doing that and never getting on the flight to Barcelona, because obviously when you fly international and you fly into like the UK, like you have to like declare your visa and fill out paperwork and stuff,
dude.
So you're not doing anything illegal. You're just not getting on the connecting flight, and then she's all set, dude. She has her hotel booked in London,
in the right place.
The airline doesn't know shit about it. In their eyes, are like, oh, you know, she missed her flight. They're never gonna double check that you rebooked, and then you can just book a return flight.
People are so smart, bro. That's so wild.
You can get a return flight back to Minneapolis through a different carrier, dude. And it's like, dude, that blew my mind. And so I was going through there. I'm like, dude, I want to go to like New York just to like, because that's where I'm from. I just want to fucking go there for a weekend, but I don't want to spend $250 on a flight.
Yeah.
And I was looking, it's like, dude, motherfucker, like flights for like $49, where you like, you connect in Charlotte, then connect in New York, and then you end up in like Toronto or something. But I just get off in New York and I never board the flight to Canada, and I just stay in New York and I save money. I save like $200,
Wow.
which I can put towards like dinner or a hotel or
so
whatever.
yeah, so you buy the ticket. Like, okay, so Chicago would be $400, but me going to Boston would be like cheaper.
Like $250.
And then so my connecting flight would be Chicago. So
yeah, you just get off in Chicago and you miss the flight to Boston. And
gotcha.
You're where you wanted to end. You're where you wanted to go the whole time.
Well, I guess we taught some people there, some knowledge there, man. You taught me fucking Jesus.
So
that's wild.
Dave's asking a good question. Like, how are they getting the money back for the missed connection? I don't know what it is. I think it's like, I think the reason why connecting flights are cheaper is because they're using less fuel. Like they're spending less time in the air using fuel, I guess, is what I inferred from the article.
Yeah.
But like they're not, I don't know how they're making the money. I don't give a fuck. They make a shit ton of money off me anyways whenever I travel. All these companies do,
dude,
bro.
Fuck big airlines at like,
it's
who cares?
Dude, like capitalism sucks for one reason. The companies get to make a shit ton of money and they're never going to raise wages. But our living, our food, our gas, our healthcare, everything gets more expensive. But the shit we use, our distractions, Disney World, fucking the movies, restaurants.
Oh, movies are getting insane too. We were just talking about that the other day where I'm like, I don't really care for the movie experience anymore because it's too much. And I've already had my movie experience, so why would I go back?
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. So
yeah.
Movie ticket. You and a date, right? Movies for you and the person you're going to the movies with, $25. That's like, let's say you just do a standard, whatever, Friday evening movie, $12.50 a pop for tickets. You go in, a large thing of popcorn is like $9. And then you have 2 medium drinks, $6 each. And then 2 bags of candy, $4 each. Like, that's a shit ton of money, bro.
I think you're being really graceful in those estimates too. I think it's way more, dude.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
My first job out of high school was working at a movie theater, and those were the prices when I worked at a movie theater in like 09.
Okay,
so yeah,
all right.
Like,
yeah, because I just went to the movie with Jack when he came into town, and candy was like $6 or $7. Popcorn for a medium was like 12 or 11. I don't know.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
He got like an icy, and that was like $8. Like, it was just insane, dude. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's
inflation.
It's wild.
Do you want to introduce on how this podcast is going to be run? Like what topics people should expect for future listeners?
Yeah, so I know originally, so this is kind of a reboot, kind of a remix of what we were doing a couple months ago. And to our credit, like the beginning of when we started the original like run of these episodes, like we were pretty much consistent, like week in or every 2 weeks doing something and recording. And we more or less stuck to gaming concepts or gaming topics. Like, so we talked about OSRS, we talked about Call of Duty, like anxiety, fucking social media when it came to gaming and all that other stuff, streaming.
Yeah.
But I think we put ourselves in a box originally because we would always kind of sidetrack or take the conversation in different directions. So I think for this go around, like we're going to talk about gaming, like ultimately like people on Kick, that watch this live or people that might stumble upon it on YouTube or maybe our friends in LS or on Twitter or whatever. Everybody that I know of that I, have some sort of relationship because of streaming, like they're invested in gaming.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely talk about gaming stuff. And I don't think we're going to limit it to one game. Like, I think the broader we are or the more open we are to like different genres, different games, different topics in the gaming space, like the better off we'll be because, to the casual person, like they might learn something, but then also like the broader we are, the more people are able to chime in and like possibly give their opinion on whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
Or maybe inform, because I'm not against being, you know, corrected if I'm off base on something.
Right.
But then also I think like we're also going to talk about other stuff. Like there's more to life than just gaming. Like, you know, gaming is a good escape. It's a good way to manage stress or have fun or disconnect. But then also like there's real shit going on out there with everybody, dude. Like we were just talking about it earlier. Like, you know, everything's buying everything. Everything's getting more expensive. Like
Yeah.
people move, people go through breakups, people fucking get married, have kids. Like there's just a bunch of shit that, you know, we can talk about at any point in time. Things that we might have perspective on, and certain things like that we don't have perspective on. So I just think it's going to be,
and we'll learn.
Yeah, I just think it's just going to be a like, you know, when you go to when I go eat at a restaurant, I very rarely have the same thing every time, unless it's the same like one really good item on the menu. I usually will have every
Chicken
time I
nuggets.
go to a restaurant, I do something different. Like I'll do the steak, or I'll do the the salad or the fajita or whatever. So I just
going back to that, I'm sorry. I just had fajitas like for the first time. Well, not the first time, but in a while. I haven't been to Chili's in like 13 years. And I was like,
Damn.
okay, well, I'm at Chili's, so I might as well do the fajitas because it's so annoying. It sizzles, it's loud and everything. Anyway, my mom does it, so maybe that's just PTSD. But I get fajitas. I'm never again. It's so exhausting. I have tortilla and then my meat and then I do cheese and then I do the veggies. I should have just got the tacos. It's too much work.
No, so you want to know
for what you get.
You want to know my life hack for fajitas, or even yeah, no, it's fajitas because you got to build your own. So what I do, like when I go to my favorite restaurant in Charlotte, it's called La Unica or La Única if you speak Spanish. And I get the fajita, or I get the ACP, the arroz con pollo, right? So they give it to you, and it's like the ACP that they have there is like smothered in cheese. It's got like onions, tomatoes, peppers, chicken, the rice, and then like seasoning. And then they give you, they like give you a choice of, excuse me, flour or corn tortillas. So what I do is I mix the rice up all together on the plate, and it's like everything's mixed with everything. And then what I do is I roll like a blunt. I roll the fucking tortilla up like a little stick, and then I put the food in my mouth, and then I bite the little roll of the tortilla. So it's like I get like I get to eat both of them at the same time without having to like build this fucking thing that's gonna like rip because I'm overstuffing it and I'm getting all my hands dirty. I roll it up, bite it.
I may have to try that.
Spoonful of food.
I'm
telling you, dude, it's a good fucking hack. It works for me every time.
Going back though, you were saying, you know, we don't want to be in a box. Sorry, the whole fajita talk. I just need to talk about it. You know, I don't like being in a box anymore, dude. I put myself in a box once. I did it, and I was like,
give me some background on that, because I've heard you speak about it on stream.
It was a mental box.
Whenever you go and speak on that topic,
sure.
In the past, it's usually at a time where I'm like lurking or I'm busy or I'm doing something. Okay. So I never get the full.
Here's the full picture of
on it
of being in a box, and I did that myself, and it's easy. And this is going to go into more of a streaming space or creative space. You know, I streamed only RuneScape, and I saw growth in RuneScape, and I saw, you know, the financial side on RuneScape, and I was worried because of other things in my life that I need to take care of financially, that if I switch games, it may hurt me. And like, again, thank you for my community who has supported me, and also people who are RuneScapers who go to other games that I play. But that was the box that I was put in for a while, that I just started hating the game again. Well, not again, I'm sorry, but like I disliked the game and had a sour taste in my mouth. Right now, I'm enjoying the game again. So thank God I got myself out of the box. But like burnout's real. I'd say ADHD burnout's real. Like I was just so hyper focused on the game and the content that I was trying to make. But yeah, no, just getting out of the box, feeling good, and that was the same thing with the podcast. I know where you kind of initially we were going to go more on RuneScape topics, and then it became like state of gaming, and then became like a little bit of politics. I like that. I like bringing, you know, all that together and what we can talk about, because you have lived a different life than I have. A lot of this community has lived many lives. They've had different cards that they've been dealt. I say that a lot. And so with this podcast, I like to make it more community focused. I've always been community focused, and it'd be cool, to get a guest on. We talk about other topics and things like that. So I want to treat it like a download of people's like lives and like how they've gone through life, and just talk about games. And we're all old, so we're like, why do you hate MW3? Why is it DLC? You know what I mean?
I mean, that makes so much sense, because if you do something too much, if you do something too much, or it becomes like your identity, like I can see how fucking frustrating that could be mentally, because you feel like you don't have an out. Like if you like, maybe going back to that topic, like, or what you were saying about RuneScape, it's like maybe one day, like let's say for example, like you wanted to play, I don't know, WoW.
There you go.
And then you would stream WoW, and then your OSRS viewership wouldn't be there because you're not playing that game. Like mentally, that would take a toll, wouldn't it? Like, oh, like damn, like dude, not as many people are watching. And I know it's not about the numbers for you. Like I get that shit.
Yeah.
But I think on a subconscious level, like, it still would probably weigh on you. But I don't like to be put in a box. I don't want this podcast to be a box that we put it in a box, or we put ourselves in a box by just talking about, like I said earlier, gaming or whatever.
Yeah.
There might be times where we record and we might not even talk about gaming at all.
Yeah.
And I would totally be cool with that. There might be times where we're like, shit, dude, the GTA trailer comes out in 2 weeks or whatever, and that shit is so fucking sick, and we want to just break it down and give our opinion on it. That's the only thing we talk about, and we talk about it for an hour. But I don't know. Variety is good. Variety is good, because the more people you can reach by being broder, I think the better it'll be for us. And we get
different perspectives too. That's another thing that I like about just living my own life. When I talk to somebody, I hope to find a different perspective that I didn't even think. And like, it could be silly, like going back to the airline topic. Damn, I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? That's such a mastermind play. And so that's what I hope to get out of that. And the viewers and the listeners who are going to listen to this, just to take away something that you never really thought about, or maybe think harder on a certain subject, whether that's gaming or,
I think also, I mean, if this were to blow up, which again, you never know, like, people say,
can you imagine Baddup blowing up? Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Just Baddup,
somebody
dude.
being like, hey, are you Super Team? That guy with that fucking deep, sexy ass voice with like the bald head.
You're like Pete Davidson. You're like,
you're like a brown skinned Pete Davidson. Was your dad a firefighter? Did you date Ariana Grande?
Did you?
No.
Damn.
No, dude. I don't body shame, but petite girls are just not it for me, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go into Pete Davidson. I was like,
Pete Davidson? Yeah.
He's not my type.
Oh, is Daddy still in here? DreamHack is in Atlanta in 3 weeks. Tyler 1 is gonna be here.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
And I'm thinking about going just to take a photo with him so I could send it to Denny and fucking Fluff, dude.
That would be cool, dude.
The tickets aren't that expensive either, dude.
How much is it?
Like for a day, it's like $50.
That's not bad.
For the weekend, it's like $150. It's like $150 or like $120 for 3 days. Now,
so if I get a plane ticket to New York and my connecting flight to Atlanta,
yeah, I got a spare bedroom you could stay in.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I thought about, real talk. They say that you could buy a pass. You could buy a pass to like bring your rig to DreamHack and stream from there. I thought about doing that, dude. I'm still on the fence about it.
That would be cool.
And streaming from DreamHack and being like, yo, Tyler 1 took a picture with me and here it is.
You should do it. I don't know. That sounds cool. That sounds awesome. I've never heard of DreamHack till like a month and a half ago. I didn't really know what it was.
Apparently there's like all these tournaments. Like you could join a Fortnite duos tournament that pays all like $2,000. I'm not the best Fortnite player ever, but like it'd be fun to compete. or like there's fighting game tournaments there, like Street Fighter or DBZ fighters, and all this Rainbow Six Siege, Halo. Like it's honestly just a convention for gaming, just like Dragon
That's
Con's
really
a
cool.
convention for pop culture and like comics and movies and stuff. So
Which con?
Dragon Con. So Dragon Con is this big con that happens.
Okay, I really thought you were like
September.
queuing up like a Ligma joke.
No.
Okay.
Oh my god,
dude. I was like, are you really gonna Ligma somebody right now?
No. Honestly, I thought you were gonna say that I was dragging up a dragon, my balls across your face.
That's what I was. Dude. Holy fuck,
Dude,
bro! I was like, really the setup?
I need to go back. There was a guy. There was a guy that came into my stream like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, I was playing Minecraft, right? And I died in Minecraft. I like drowned trying to do something, and I lost my shit. Like Fluff was making fun of me, and she's like, "Imagine losing your best axe." Blah blah blah. And I deserved it, dude. I fucked up. But this guy comes in and he's chatting me up. There's somebody that was like browsing the Minecraft category on Kick, and he's like talking me up, and he's like, "Oh man, you just died." He's like, "Have you died to the second dragon?" I was like, "Second dragon?"
No,
I was
dude.
like, "What dragon are you talking about?"
He got you, huh?
He's talking about the Ender Dragon. And he didn't say it in chat. Well, he did say it. He has these emotes, and it's like dragging, and the letters are like they're moving to like from one side to the other, and it says "dragging my nuts" on your face, bro. I laughed for like 5 minutes straight. Dude, I was like, dude, I don't know.
I think you gave me an idea. So lately, in the last 2-3 days, shout out to Dubs Music and Lola Buns. I've gone to their streams and I hit them with the Room 40s. And so Dubs Music, he's playing COD a lot. I'm like, oh man, like, did you download that Room 40s extension yet? And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, Room 40s nuts in your mouth, bro. He did the bit what I do, where I like look like I'm ending now, like ending my stream. He's like, guys, good stream, it was a good time. See you guys tomorrow. This and that. Bro, I need to make an emote now. Room for these nuts in your mouth, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dude, he got me, bro. And I need to go back. I don't know how long the VODs stay on here, but I need to go back and I need to find that exact thing. That could be one of the clips that you put on the LS TikTok or whatever.
I'm down.
That shit was so funny, bro. It's so funny. But yeah, no, Dragon Con is a big thing. Like, that they do here, like Marvel and all those, like there's actors and shit here. Like people do cosplay and it's all that. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, this podcast, like these recordings, like, I don't know, give you like some different perspective on things, or maybe educate you on something that you didn't know was going on. Like the skip lagging thing. That's something that I literally read about this afternoon. Like I was at work on my break and I was like, yo, like, what is this skip lagging? Like what?
Damn.
And when I read it, I was like, dude,
what are some good like article sites that you get, dude? Because I just don't read like news anymore. I really don't.
So
I kind of wait it sometimes.
That's such a tricky question for me to answer, because news media is biased.
Of course.
Like, news media in the United States, spoiler alert, guys, if you're from Canada or Europe, the media here is absolutely biased. Fox News is very conservative. CNN is seen as this like liberal fucking website that like trashes the right and leans more towards progressive like ideologies and policies. Yeah. MSNBC could also be seen as like a liberal, like left leaning website. This is what I do. I consume everything. I consume Fox News propaganda. I consume fucking CNN trashing Trump. I consume MSNBC talking about a puppy that had a albino dog puppy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I do that is because I don't want to be ignorant towards the media that somebody that is different from me might consume, because they're from a different part of the country, or they lean more conservative or whatever. Like I want to be informed as to like what they're consuming, so that way if I ever were to engage in conversation,
that's smart. I like that.
I know what their viewpoint is. So for example, my manager in her office has a Trump hat there. Now, that's not the end all be all for me liking you or not, but
go on.
Me and her get along just great. Mm-hmm. She helps me out. She's helping train me. Like she's giving me, advice on what I need to do for my role and like all this. And I think if I were to have walked into that office, I don't know, 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh, fuck this lady. Like I don't want to fucking work for her. I'm going to keep my distance. I'm just going to do the bare minimum or do my job and not get in trouble because, whatever. But because I consume what's being put out there with regards to like, the right politics and stuff, like, don't get me wrong. Like some of the shit that I read and I see, like, I don't agree with at fucking all.
Yeah.
But it's important, dude.
I think it helps you navigate the conversation with people like that. Yeah. And vice versa, right? And vice versa.
You can't, you have to be informed on even the shit you don't agree with just to have the information available to you.
Mm-hmm.
I will never make an opinion. I will never come to my own consensus opinion on something just getting one side of the story.
Yeah.
Never in my life will I ever do that. And I'm not naive enough to believe that even when I come to a certain opinion on something, that my mind can't be changed if I'm provided with evidence and proof that maybe I'm incorrect in thinking a specific way.
It's a lot of feelings too. Like, and I guess in terms of news, it's very emotion driven. So, you have to figure out the facts, which Fox can provide some facts. CNN can provide some facts, NBC, or MSN, what is it? MSNBC,
like
whatever it is.
All these different things.
And then you get the full story, and then you make your own opinion. And it's unfortunate because we live in a day of age right now where everyone has to voice their opinion. You have to side on everything. This is for people who would like to, maybe escape that box per se. Make your opinion, figure it out. Don't read into it too much of how your friend thinks or what this person that, on the internet thinks who has all this validation. Like, you just gotta make it yourself.
Like I implore everyone, dude, consume the information and then make sure it's not fake, because there's a lot of fake information that gets put out there about various different things. There's agendas being pushed. Find reputable sources, find reputable articles and news sites from all different viewpoints, conservative, central or centrist, progressive, liberal, and just consume the knowledge, the information, and then make your own opinion. Like,
just be smart about it and like, cautious about it.
Don't be a hive mind and just agree with something because that's the cool thing to do. And like the Marvels, like that's one of the topics on here. That movie's not gonna make its money back.
Yeah.
And I think that is because people have already they have already reached a consensus on what they think about that movie and those characters, that before the movie even came out, they weren't going to support
that. In Discord, in other Discords, I will say my piece and I'm like, you know what? In a video game, right? I like this game, and everyone's like, oh, that's dog shit, A, B, and C. And I'm just like, bro, it's a game. We haven't even played it. And then the game comes out, and it's a fun game. It's just the essence of a game. It's fun.
And I'm like,
why are we dog shitting on a game?
The experience that somebody has in a game is entirely subjective to that person.
Yeah.
I like to play Minecraft. I like to play Rocket League. But I could come across somebody that I vibe with heavily will never play those games.
Yeah. Subjective.
Likewise, yeah, it is completely subjective. Everybody likes what they like. You can't, unless it's something fucked up, like something that you know is morally wrong or something that is predatory, like, bro, let little Johnny enjoy Call of Duty because that's what he likes and he likes to spend his money on it. Like, dude, I'm not gonna tell that dude what to do. I'm not gonna tell some kid on Twitter like, hey, fuck Call of Duty, fuck you for posting this clip. This game sucks. It's DLC. Like, why'd you spend $70 on it? It's like, you know what, dude? I'm not gonna buy it because I don't want to pay $70 for what I think is DLC. But you're enjoying it. Your enjoyment of that game does not affect me negatively at all.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, have fun, post your clips, like, you know, whatever.
I think you bring up a good piece right there. You said little Johnny, right? Kids, you know, let them have fun, whatever, you know, or I guess in mature games, right? Teenagers. But I feel like when it gets to grown adults and we know a little bit more, stop huffing copium. And this is me talking about MW3. And granted, I love MW2 maps. I like Call of Duty. I'll say it. I do like Modern Warfare. That was the shit I grew up.
Really struggling to.
And for the listeners, MW3. For the listeners and the viewers, Super Team, myself, and Dave, in our community, we made a pact to not buy Call of Duty in W3, and we're being strong as adults, right? Because let's talk about it. You know, people are huffing the copium. It's a DLC. I'm sorry. It really is. I haven't seen anything different. In my opinion, you could buy the game. That's fine. We just have to agree. That game is an absolute reversal over what Modern Warfare 2 was and what Modern Warfare 2, the newest one, should have been. It was supposed to be that. Modern Warfare 2. Okay, go on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Modern Warfare 2. They pushed a specific playstyle on the community that a lot of people just don't play. Like, nobody wants to fucking camp a doorway or a corner in a room or a window pane to get kills. Mm-hmm. That map, the border crossing map, is the worst fucking piece of shit map I've ever played in my life. I heard they removed it too, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. But that game, dude, I spent $70 on it to play with my homies, with the Bobs, and I just didn't have fun because a specific play style was pushed upon. It was forced upon me, and I hate Rainbow Six Siege. It's not my game type. That doesn't make it. It's not my game style. It doesn't make it a bad game. The people that enjoy that and are excellent at it. Slower pace, tactical. Valorant, not my thing. CS:GO, not my thing. Search and Destroy, not my thing. I like running around. I like sliding. I like mantling. I like quick aim down sight. I like the casual experience, dude. Like, I don't like a bunch of gun visual recoil, like affecting my aim and smoke, barrel smoke, like blinding my target. The maps were not good. None of them were iconic. None of them I thought were like, holy shit, this is Rust. This is like as good as Rust or Raid or. Damn, you're kind of right on that. Not really iconic. Or Downpour. The racing map was cool, but then they had to remove it because it had too much likeness of another map or an actual area. That was the museum. The museum map was in the beta. I'm so sorry. They removed that. You're right. It was in the beta. I thought they removed the racing map too because of that. Dude, the racing map was a cool idea, but like, bro, you're right on the museum. I feel like Infinity Ward just they don't know what the fuck the community wants. Like, the mini map was not the mini map of classic Call of Duties where like you shoot a gun, you see a red dot. It was like nothing. Dead Silence was a field upgrade that lasted 30 seconds and you could only keep going by getting more kills. Dead Silence has always been a perk. You know, the funny thing is like, why reinvent the wheel? Do you know what I mean? Like, why reinvent Call of Duty? You don't have to. It's crazy. It is crazy, bro. Visually, yes. Maybe some perks or whatnot reworked to a little bit, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Because you're inviting a new generation to play MW2. It's crazy. You refine and you go on, yeah. You refine and you make like great products. You refine and make them better over time.
you don't just scrap what makes an airplane and like turn it into a helicopter hydroplane shit. Like, you know, I'm just making something up. An airplane works the way it's supposed to because of the way it's designed. It has wings and propulsion, and you know, you get airspeed and all that shit. You're not going to change fundamentally. You're not going to fundamentally change the design of an airplane because you want to reinvent it. Like, you might make it faster, you might make it sleeker, you might, you know, whatever. But the overall, like, you know, bullet points of what makes an airplane, like, are going to be present in any new model of an airplane. In Call of Duty, every game, it's the same franchise, but it's designed, it's developed by 3 different studios every year. So essentially every studio is on a 3-year cycle. So it's like Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward,
Treyarch. Yeah.
And it cycles again. But every year it's something different. The zombies maps are fundamentally different. The structure of multiplayer is different. There's different game modes. When Call of Duty 4 came out, in fucking 2007, you had Demolition, Domination, Team Deathmatch, Search and Destroy, you had Free for All, Gun Game.
Oh, love Gun Game.
Standard modes. Fun. Now, when the game comes out, the new Modern Warfare 3, Demolition's not in the game. Like, why is that not in the game? Why is that gotta be a seasonal drop? Why are you drip feeding game modes to me? Like, why do I have to wait for season 2 in the spring to play Demolition? What?
I'm just tired that, again, going back to the initial argument, as adults, you know, stop huffing copium and like dog shit the game, like dog shit nostalgia, you know what I mean? Like dog on it. Cause I don't know, man. Like it's getting milked. It's not fun.
Man.
But it's going back to it. We both want to play it, right?
Dude, I really want to play it, but I know that the moment that I buy the game and I get hit with skill-based matchmaking, I get hit with drip feed content. I get hit, like, you know,
the battle pass. Let's talk about battle pass.
The toxic player base, and everybody's, you know, TTV, KTV, YTV, whatever.
What are those?
It's just not casual. It's not casual. Like, that's another thing. The skill-based matchmaking has completely killed my desire to play modern games, because skill-based matchmaking is strict, even in casual playlists.
Yeah. And then, you know, the people who love Call of Duty right now, again, you know, different perspective, they're gonna be like, well, get good, stop being dog shit.
And I'm just like, hey Kenneth, in Minneapolis, you go to high school and then you play this game for 8 hours and don't do your homework. I have bills and I have to work a 40-hour job, and then I have to walk my dog and go grocery shopping.
God, we're so old.
Yeah, and like run errands, and then, you know, I'm an adult, so like I only have like 2 or 3 hours to play this game max. You're obviously gonna shit on me because you're way better, like. But that's not the argument that I'm having. Like, the skill-based matchmaking, like, I used to be able to play Call of Duty, and on certain maps or certain times, I'd be able to just run around with a pistol and do a challenge. A Magnum, the worst fucking pistol in the game. And I would drop 30 kills, die 15 times. We'd maybe win the game, maybe lose the game, but I'd have a shit ton of fun, and it'd be great. We get a couple kill streaks. And now it's like, hey, Super, you want to do good? You got to use this meta gun and use these meta perks.
Watch this YouTube video.
Yeah, you got to watch this YouTube video on, you know, exclusive Ace telling you how to build your player and what, you know, where the choke points are, because you're going to be playing a CDL match for the next hour that you're free, because the skill-based matchmaking is going to make it so you die the same number of times you kill somebody, and that's your experience. And
no, I'll buy it. Yeah, sign me up, Super.
Dude.
$70? Yeah. No, I got you.
No, dude. I'd rather spend my $70 on something else, like, I don't know, like food, pay my bill, like
a new
gas
dog
in my car. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna pay I'm not going to pay for Modern Warfare 2.5, which should have been the original game that I've already paid for last year.
True.
The other thing about that game, you want to know how I know it's DLC? And some of you might have read this already. It's like when you launch the game on PlayStation 5 or Steam, the achievements are not separate from Modern Warfare 2. It is literally an addendum.
Wow.
It is literally an addition or a tab under Modern Warfare 2, the trophies and the achievements for Modern Warfare 3.
Really? It was in a dev cycle for 16 months as well.
Yeah, they faced crunch. Like, dude, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
they just want that money for the Q4, man. And for me, if I actually picked up another Call of Duty, it would be a team that took a long time to like develop it, and I wouldn't even mind to skip a year of Call of Duty. Let MW3 play for 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
So I skipped Vanguard. Yeah, I skipped Vanguard.
I wish I skipped Vanguard. Fuck.
Yeah, I skipped that one. I have found as I've gotten older, I skip a lot of the games I used to play. I used to buy every year. I used to buy 2K every year. I haven't bought 2K since 2020. It's been 3 years. Madden, last one I bought was 2020. 3 years I haven't bought that game.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, I have skipped 2 of the last 4. I've skipped Modern Warfare 3 and I've skipped Vanguard. But for some reason I bought GTA 5 for 3 different console generations. I got it for free on PC. I got it for PS5. I had it on PS4, and then it originally came out on Xbox 360, and that's where I originally played it. So I don't know, man. I'm with you. Like, I want my games to be polished. I want them to have all the features that I expect the game like them to have. And
I mean, it's 2023. We've had features before. Why are we missing them?
Call of Duty, honestly, in my opinion, and people could disagree with me all they want, or maybe they'll agree with me. If Call of Duty was ran like Fortnite, and Call of Duty was just an app, Call of Duty, download the app, and for a year we played Modern Warfare setting, and then like they do Chapter 1, Chapter 2 in Fortnite. The next year they're like, oh, here's Call of Duty 2.0. We're gonna go to Vietnam, boys. Like,
I feel like you're calling it. I feel like this is gonna happen.
Get your chopper gunner, you know what I'm saying, ready, and your bandanas, and we're gonna fight in the swamps of Vietnam and shit. And then, the following year, or season or whatever, it turns into alien guns or whatever, jetpacks. If it was a service game and they did it like Fortnite or Overwatch or some of these games with battle passes, they would make more money because more people, the casual player, would spend $10 on a battle pass and invest more time in getting the rewards.
You're right.
But this idea of dropping a game annually and expecting everybody to eat it up and overlook its flaws or overlook its rushed dev cycle and glitches and exploits and hacking, like, dude, fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna get on MW3 already thinking it's a DLC and then get bunny hopped by somebody that I am in the same bracket as, but I'm not supposed to be because my KD is 1.5, and in Call of Duty world, that's like above average. Like,
the funny part about this, and this is for everybody listening, we're going to be playing Call of Duty Zombies right after this podcast.
Oh, 100%.
So we're shit talking it, but
well, we're playing a Call of Duty Zombies from like 2 years ago. So like,
true, yeah, it's Cold War. I don't know. Zombies is fun, like the true zombies.
The true zombies with the Easter egg. Yes.
Yeah, Easter eggs, fun lore, fun content.
But I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. It's DLC. If you disagree, listen, I'm not going to shit talk you and I'm not going to look down on you. I'm just going to disagree with you and let you enjoy the game because I'm an adult and I understand that people are going to enjoy different things. But it is 100% a DLC. And if you can justify or talk yourself into spending $70 for a DLC map pack of remastered Modern Warfare 2 weapons and maps, more power to you, dude. It's your money. You can stimulate the economy however you want. I'm going to do it by paying my bills and not spending $70 on a game that I should have got last year.
So while you were going into that segment, I was spinning the wheel. So for the listeners, you may have just heard like a applause. So game of the year picks.
Oh, let's pull this up real quick. Do you have them pulled up?
I don't. Do you want to show me the link?
Yeah. So I'll send you the link. So.
Oh, you could just discuss them too and give some.
All right. So for game of the year, I played some of these. I haven't played some of these, but I understand why some of these games are on there. So you got Alan Wake 2.
Interesting.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Okay.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Baldur's Gate 3. Resident Evil 4. And Spider-Man 2.
So I want to say, besides Baldur's Gate 3, and I know the chat's popping off on BG3, they're all, and granted, great IPs, all sequels or reiteration, it sounds like. Haven't played Alan Wake 2. I know Alan Wake 1 was really good. I can see Alan Wake 2 being really good in terms of a story, and Spider-Man 2 in terms of story. But man, like Baldur's Gate 3 was so refreshing. And granted, I haven't beaten the game, but I do play D&D. It was fun to play D&D in that type of setting. Play, goofy, play however you want type game too. That was the most impressive part. I could be like, oh, like this one time I was playing with Cherry or Color McCody now, and I turned myself into a cat because I was a druid, and this dumbass picked me up, threw me at the bandits, I died. You know what I mean? Like, you do dumb shit like that, and I was mad at him. But dude, I don't know. Baldur's Gate 3 was fun.
So I am on the other end of that. I have not ever played Baldur's Gate, and I haven't played the new one. So the reason why I just don't like turn-based combat. I feel like I have evolved past the point of like playing Final Fantasy X turn-based combat, where like I have to pick my move and then wait for the CPU to pick their move. And dude, no. Elden Ring, all these different games have changed me, and I want to fucking dodge and parry and fucking hit bosses.
Mm-hmm.
But having not played that game, I still recognize that it is probably the best game of the year.
Okay.
Just based off what I've seen.
Okay.
And how I hear the casual gamer talk about it, and the hardcore gamer that like is all about those kind of games, that game is going to win game of the year, and it's not going to be close.
I mean, you look at last year, right? That was Elden Ring, right? Or was that 2 years ago? I can't remember.
So last year was Elden Ring, Stray, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, A Plague Tale Requiem, Horizon Forbidden West, and God of War Ragnarok.
Solid picks.
Last year I felt it was going to be between Elden Ring and God of War, and I played both. And honestly, to this day, in my opinion, like Elden Ring's still one of the best games I've ever, like it's probably the best game I've ever played.
I know that for sure, because anytime since you've played Elden Ring, since I've known you, you've changed like as a better man. So your dick's grown a little higher.
It's just patience, dude. My tilt meter, it takes a little bit longer to fill because I died so many times.
Oh my god, you're actually spitting because this is, you've grown a lot like since I've watched you and like as a creator now. You would rage. I'm like, oh, dude, super. It's okay, man. It's all right. But dude, after Elden Ring, you've actually calmed down. I remember playing hoops with you, or you were playing hoops the other day, not even without me, and you were chill.
I'm chilling.
I'm just saying, like, dude.
At a certain point, dude. At a certain point, like you can be upset and you can be like super competitive and not want to die, not want to lose. I get it. I'm like that. I think we're all like that on a certain level.
Absolutely.
Because we're all gamers. But when it starts to like negatively affect your day to like lose one Rocket League match or die one time to Melania, Blade of Mikola in Elden Ring, that's when it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, dude, I really had to do some like critical thinking and like really like do some deep soul searching. Be like, dude, do I really want to be that guy that just gets irrationally mad over a fucking video game, dude? Or do I want to just like take my L, figure out a different strategy, eventually beat it, and feel some sort of accomplishment in doing that? And Elden Ring, dude, Elden Ring does that for me, dude. Like when I played Tears of the Kingdom, I died a bunch. I was just like, okay, well, I clearly am not geared up to fight this thing.
Yeah.
And I was honestly overperforming some of the boss fights in that game because I was just like, dude, nah.
Patience, I know the timing, the spacing. Yeah. Elden Ring teaches a lot.
Elden Ring, but then also you can cheese it.
You could, yeah.
You could have cheesed it. Like bleed builds were OP. Yeah, bleed builds were OP, strength builds were OP. The fucking hyper armor could be shredded through like proper strength builds and shit. But anyways, it does that game deserved game of the year. This year it's gonna be Baldur's Gate 3. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4. To me, I don't know how I feel about a remake being game of the year. This game was already up for game of the year like 15 years ago.
It was like 2004, right?
Like 04. Like, yeah, literally like 18 years ago, or whatever the fuck it is. 19 years ago. Why do we have to give it game of the year again? It's the same game minus some changes in like graphical upgrades.
Can I be honest too? I've never played Resident Evil 4 back in the day, so I played the remake. Look, I haven't beaten it. No one yell at me.
Me neither.
I played it and I was like, this is cool. I like Resident Evil 2, the remake. I like Resident Evil 3, the remake. I liked Resident Evil 7, 8. I played 5. I played 6. So I'm decent at Resident Evil games, but like playing 4, it was nostalgia. I'll grant it. I like Leon. But it was just like another Resident Evil game. It wasn't like stunning. It wasn't crazy for game of the year.
The formula is the same. Like I played the original and I beat it for PS2, and we had it for we had the cool chainsaw controller for GameCube.
Yeah.
And I remember like I'm a little bitch for scary games, dude. Like spoiler, I'm a little bitch for scary games. So like I never played like Resident Evil 2 or like any of those other ones, Dino Crisis, any of those old like Capcom games.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 was the first one that I played, and I stuck through it. I beat it, and then I beat it again on New Game Plus, and I was like, dude, this game fucking rules. And then I was like 14 years old, playing it on PS2. Playing it again, it wasn't a new experience. It wasn't like, oh shit, like, whoa, dude, like, holy fuck, this game is like, they made it so much better than the original. It's like, yeah, like maybe controls are modernized a little bit. The graphics are obviously what they are.
Yeah.
And it's got some differences on the remake, right? But
it would have been cool. And again, I know third person's tight because you're like, oh, cool, I get to see Leon. But then if you do like how 7 and 8 was with first person, I mean, just saying, it wouldn't be a remake, but it would have been really cool.
There's only so much that series can do that they haven't tried already. So I think that being a nominee, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're taking into account that there's a whole generation or 2 generations of gamers that never played the original, then maybe I can justify that. Spider-Man 2 is another, like, dude.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
I loved. I got the fucking statue right here. I loved the original Spider-Man for PS4, and I played the Miles Morales. I played the remaster PS4 for PS5, and then I'd been looking forward to this game for months, like since they like originally dropped the trailer the last year.
Yeah.
But again, we were talking about Call of Duty, like just changing shit for no reason. The evolution of the traversal system in Spider-Man 2 was a natural step up with like the gliding and the different web mechanics. They refined the combat. Cool. Okay. They refined the combat. The combat used to be this cumbersome fucking wheel of gadgets that you'd have to cycle through and like basically slow
and it would slow down. Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember that. Okay.
So
how did it play 2?
Oh, now it's like you hit L1 and it's like one of the face buttons and you instantly do. So like L1 or R1 square is the gadget that pulls everything together.
Yeah.
L1 circle is the concussive grenade. Regular L1 is the webs. So it's like stuff like that. L1 triangle like lifts everybody up, and then as you upgrade your gear, it like affects more enemies. But the only thing that again with that game, it's different than the first one, and it's different than the Miles Morales game, but it's not leaps and bounds different. Like it's not a generational shift. Like when you went from GTA 4 to GTA 5 and they added the online, the attention to detail, like some of those details still stand to this day. Like, you know, when you walk on a beach, you leave footprints behind and then the wave comes in and erases it.
Yeah.
Or you walk in like on the snow and shit. In this game, it was just a natural evolution. It was a step up for sure, but I don't think it's not better than Baldur's Gate 3. And I can say that confidently, not even having played Baldur's Gate 3, just based off the word of mouth that I hear about that game. Tears of the Kingdom, played that game.
It's crazy because I love Zelda and I still haven't played it because I don't know. Am I tired of Zelda, or am I tired of the open world experience? You know, do I want like an original Zelda again? You know, you can only do some. I'm being picky as a gamer, right?
But dude, I grew up on PlayStation. I didn't even have an N64, so I never played Zelda. First Zelda game I ever played, crucify me, dude. Go ahead. It was Breath of the Wild.
I'm not going to crucify you, but you're wrong and dumb.
And
as a kid,
dude, I'm the worst, dude.
Just joking.
That was the first game. That was the first Zelda game I played.
Okay.
And I got through halfway and I got frustrated because the weapons broke, and I had to scavenge for food to like heal, like make healing recipes and shit.
Oh,
and
you hated the weapons. I remember.
Dude, I got burnt out so hard on that game because when I first started playing it, I played it for like a month straight, and I got through half the story, and then I was like, "Fuck, man! Like, I'm tired of like my good shit breaking and like having to use this godforsaken stick to fight this stupid goblin thing." Coblin.
Yeah.
And I put the game down for a solid year and I didn't touch it. I didn't even want to play it. I'm like, dude, it's just I don't agree with these systems. I eventually went back and beat it. I had a fucking blast once I realized that certain weapons respawned
and the food buffs,
the blood moons. Yeah, and once I understood the cooking mechanic, and I was like, oh shit, I can go and gather all these materials to like heal my character and have like all these recipes made for the entire game and never have to use them. And it got to the point where I was like killing the harder enemies, like the Lionels and the dragons and shit. So I was like, oh, fuck it. This game is fun. When the new one came out, they again, it's basically Breath of the Wild with like engineering. Like you build shit with this arm that you have, and you have like, they replaced the powers that you had in the original game. And it was like a natural evolution of the first game. But I don't think it did anything radically different than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I love that game. I was actually thinking about replaying it the other day. I was like, dude, I might just start a new save just for shits and giggles and see how fast I can fucking get my gear back again.
I remember just like we were talking about it, and I remember why I loved it so much playing it. You know, the subtle like music, the audio cues, and I don't know if it's because I'm just like an audio guy, but I think it's really well done in terms of feeling good as a video game. You know, the open world of it and just exploring
the ambiance and the environment. It really does make you feel like you're in that world, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for like an open world game, and for a game that for the most part, like the main character doesn't even talk.
Pretty good.
Like
pretty good.
You know what I mean? Like in that game, without spoiling anything, there's one side quest that when I finished it, I was like, fuck, that shit cut deep, dude. And it was like you had to go around. So basically, again, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like you had to go around and like get these different items. There's like 12 or 13 of them, and they're all throughout the map. It's like landmarks. You go and find them. And then every time you find them, it plays a cutscene that fills in the backstory before Link is awoken, right?
I remember that. Yep.
And then when you get to the end of it, there's a revelation that's important to the story that I was just like, fuck, like, damn. Like, that shit that's sad. Mm-hmm. That's sad, but I also get the stake. So, like, now it's important that I fucking do my part of it and kill this fucking demon guy. Like,
it hits.
It was great. It was great. And I think that was also another thing about Elden Ring. Your character doesn't fucking talk. Everybody else talks except your character. You're the silent knight of death that fucking kills these demigods and knights and dragons and trolls and shit. But
The
I think
lore
both
is
of those-
in the world, and
Yeah,
NPCs.
dude, the lore of Elden Ring, I had to like watch YouTube videos to understand it because a
It's
lot of
so
the lore,
good, dude. Holy
a
shit.
lot of the lore is in the item descriptions. It's not even in dialogue or cutscene. Like you can get the basics of it, but like
You know, Destiny
the
1
deep
was that
lore-
too.
Yeah, dude.
Destiny
yeah,
1 didn't really have a story. Like the lore was through the weapons and Grimoire, and people were like, "Ugh, I can't read," and I'm like, okay. Anyway, I like Destiny 1. That was fun.
I still don't get the Destiny lore. I just see aliens shoot alien, get better gear, and that's pretty much what I do.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like the lore in those games is like it's in the item. So like you have to be devoted to getting like I grinded in Elden Ring. I grinded for like 3 hours to get one enemy on that map drops a specific long blade that I wanted. And I needed 2 of them to power stance it and like get my build to like get my build to be crazy and like do more bleed output. I grinded for 3 hours to get 3 drops. It's like a 0.9% drop rate that this like the enemy carries the stupid sword. It's like this weak enemy in like this one fucking random corner of the map. And I kept reloading the save or the grace to keep respawning it. And I grinded it for 3 hours just to get that fucking longsword. And when I got that longsword, I was like so fucking stoked. But some of those items with those low drop rates have lore descriptions that like the community was just fucking grinding OD just to get the fucking backdrop on it. And I can't fucking wait for the DLC to drop.
Oh, that's gonna be huge, man.
Because there's the rumor is that they're gonna do a trailer at the Games Awards in December. Dude, please just fucking let me know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah,
because I'm ready. I'm ready to go back into that world a full year and a half after that game dropped. As far as like Alan Wake 2 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, like I haven't played either of those games.
I don't think Super Mario should count because it's again good game. I'm sure plays like every other Super Mario that I've seen. Alan Wake 2 again. Haven't played it. I think I would probably love it. Love the first one. Love how it's very like Stephen King type vibe. Probably a really good ending. I could see that being a contender, but like, damn, Baldur's Gate. Like Alan Wake 2 hasn't generated a lot of hype for people who are outside of that game. Baldur's Gate 3 generated hype for people who've never played D&D or an RPG. Or at least they know it. They know. They're like, oh, Baldur's Gate 3. I've heard people play that, you know? My brother is ex-military, ex-army. He's usually playing Call of Duty, CSGO, Valorant. He plays shooter games. He'll play like shit like God of War and like those action adventure games. When he was telling me that Baldur's Gate 3 was fucking fire. Oh, that's when you know, dude.
And I've never seen him play a D&D ever or a turn-based combat game. I was like, shit. Like I was even thinking about buying it and trying it. I was like, oh, maybe, dude. Maybe. I kind of just want to fuck the bear and see what happens in the cutscene, honestly. Like, but
haven't done that yet.
I think that's got it, dude. I think that's got it. And just based off what chat's saying too, like earlier, like I think that's got it, hands down. I would be absolutely shocked if something else won Game of the Year.
I guess the only other one I can think is maybe Alan Wake 2 or Spider-Man 2. I don't think Nintendo's got it.
I mean, let me just go back
in
and
terms
see
of
if
like
anyone.
I don't know.
It Takes Two won Game of the Year in 2021. That was like a niche game.
Oh, It Takes Two won?
Yeah, in 2021 over Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Resident Evil Village, Deathloop, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. In 2020, it was
how did Village lose? That's wild to me, actually.
I don't know. Again, in 2020, Final Fantasy VII Remake was in there, but I could understand Final Fantasy VII
that's a remake, but that's like different.
That is, dude. That's
a different type of remake. Yeah.
Way different. It's not going from Resident Evil 4 GameCube to Resident Evil 4 PC and bumping up the graphics and updating the controls. 2019, it was Sekiro.
That makes sense.
That that's a Soulsborne that I want to play.
That's a good one. It's
But
hard. I haven't beaten it.
I've
It's
heard
hard.
that it is ridiculously difficult because of the way the swordplay is.
I've beaten every Souls game, but I'm sorry, I haven't beaten Elden Ring. I know, but Sekiro I haven't beaten either. Elden Ring is for a different reason, but yeah.
So I don't know. When's the last time a Nintendo game won?
Breath of the Wild.
You think so?
I think so.
I think you might be right. Let's see.
Or Super Mario with the hat. What's it called? I was really up there, but I don't think it won.
Let me see. I'm trying to see if I could find it.
Cappy? What was the one with Cappy, guys? As the listeners may not, during the live stream. Hey guys, the listeners.
Yeah, no,
Odyssey,
you're right.
thank you.
It was Breath of the Wild.
Odyssey didn't win. Fuck, dude. I wonder. Odyssey was good, but it was probably stacked against.
It's just Nintendo does a good. I think Nintendo does a good job with their IPs. The only exception being Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Pokemon sucks.
Pokemon has gotten worse in quality, not necessarily the mechanics. In quality, that game has gone to shit, dude.
Yeah.
I put 400 hours into Pokemon Scarlet, and not a day goes by where I'm like, fuck, dude. I could have played such a better, like just more optimized game in those 400 hours.
I mean, the reason why people play Pokemon, and I play Pokemon, obviously, every now and then. I don't play Pokemon how people play Call of Duty. But, I like to go back and revisit nostalgia. And I know it's going to be a bajillion Pokemon. It's going to be different regions. It's going to be me on a mount, getting powers for my mount or whatever the Pokemon was that was called a bicycle. But it was cool. I mean, it was fun. But when you take a break off those games, they're really fun when you get back into them. But playing them every year, I mean, I could see the quality always going down.
I think the thing with, and this could also be applied to Call of Duty. We were talking about it earlier, but not to beat a dead horse again with.
Let's get back into Call of Duty, man. Fuck you. For any listener, I want you to unsubscribe.
Hey, yo, look at me. If you buy Call of Duty, just know that you're funding just the worst development cycle.
You're a bitch.
Like you are keeping people from their families, dude, because they're having to crunch and basically reskin Call of Duty 4 for the 18th time to get Johnny to do a TikTok on slide canceling.
And I hate Johnny, bro. I hate his TikToks.
No, but I think the thing with Activision and maybe even the Pokemon company in general, Nintendo with Pokemon, is like there are IPs that no matter what, and Marvel is also guilty of doing this. They believe that their IP, no matter what, no matter the quality, is always going to make the money back. And Marvel is finding out the hard way with the Marvels, the Ant-Man debacle.
Everyone is exhausted.
Dude, people are scrutinizing quality now more than ever. I know I am. And I will not, and with everything getting more expensive, I am not going to spend money on shit that is not well made, bro. It's just not going to happen.
More expensive, the quality's worse, and there's a writer strike. So the story, I mean, obviously they can go back into the comics, but like, oh, that's a great story. We'll just do it again. But they always like rehash it, and it's like worse.
I used to buy Jordans because Jordans look cool, and then they started breaking apart on me as I was just using them in normal wear and tear. And I'm like, dude, why am I spending $220 on Jordans when I can just buy fucking like Nike running shoes that'll last me 3 years longer? Like, nah, dude. As you get older, and then also it was like, dude, I was in my 20s. I'm like, dude, I want to look cool. I want to pull like a girl that thinks my shoes are cool and my hat matches and shit. And now it's just like, sup, girl, and I'm wearing fucking sweatpants, fucking, flip flops, and a fucking dirty ass Nike hat that I wear to the gym. Like, I don't know, man. I want to pay for good quality. I don't want my dollar to be spent on something that's subpar.
Yeah.
Just like likewise emotionally, or like I don't want to spend time on people that they're not giving me a return on what I'm putting out.
I just don't want to pay for games anymore. And the reason why I say that is because I've been playing RuneScape for 3 years, and I haven't really bought a membership from JagX, and I feel like I've experienced a new world in gaming. You know, people are like, buy this game, and I'm just like, actually, I can hold out now for a sale. And just play RuneScape or these free to play games like Rogue's Company is another one.
If you really want something, listen to me for real. If you really think you want something, take the 7-day rule. And what the 7-day rule is this. Let's say, like, remember back when MW3 was gonna come out, Bobby? Remember, I was like, yo, we should buy it.
I
really
man.
want to fucking play it. And we were like, no, we shouldn't, like, you know, it's DLC, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do the 7-day rule. If I still want this game as bad as I think I want it 7 days from now, I will buy it. And I'll eat the shit. I'll get made fun of by the Bobs and the Discord and shit and whatever, and it'll be fine. Literally, how long has that game been out now? 3 weeks?
I think 3 weeks now.
Almost 3 weeks. I don't want it like I did in the days, because you buy into the hype machine.
I know.
You buy into the hype machine as you anticipate the release, and you're like, fuck, I really want it. I don't want to miss out. Like, I need to find all the meta guns. I need to play these old maps that I've played fucking back in 2009 like a million times.
Yeah.
And now, like, dude, take 7 days. If you still want the big fucking TV in 7 days, and you've had 7 days to think about it and justify it, then fucking buy it, dude. It's your money. Do whatever you want. But if you're not even thinking about the game after 7 days or a week, then you obviously didn't want it bad enough.
Can I say, and this is like exposure therapy, or I don't even know what the right term is, but you know, MW3, I watch people play, and then that's my fulfillment, because every time I watch, I'm like, oh, okay, this looks fun. You know, people are like doing some trick shots and, you know, sniping and having fun, whatever. But then I look at it, I'm like, do I see myself playing this day in, day out on the maps that I have played? Again, nostalgia is great. Playing the maps that I have played are great, but for how long, and is it worth $70?
No, dude.
If
that game came out and it was like $25-$30 just to pay the developers that worked on it back for the time they spent developing or remastering the maps, then yes, I would spend $30 on the game. I would. But I'm not spending $70 on it. No. I'll just, dude, I have Modern Warfare 2009 on Steam. I'll just re-download that and we'll 1v1 on Rust again. That'll be
fun.
Our experience.
That was really fun, dude.
Yeah, that'll be our experience with Call of Duty on Modern Warfare 2.
I think I got rated.
Oh?
What we're talking about?
Yo, shout out the raid. Yo, listen, if you're new here and you bought Call of Duty and you were able to justify it, props to you. Enjoy the game, but it's DLC and I will not be buying it. That's just my opinion.
Do we want to do a third time? We're on an hour and a half in a record. I'm going to probably cut out about 15 to 20 minutes.
Dude, we could end it right here, I think.
Yeah, this was great, dude. This was good.
Dude, it's so good to just have good conversation, bro.
This was a little bit more smoother, I think, too. But before we even do a debrief, but you want to close it out? Or you want me to close it out?
Don't close it out, dude. I opened it up.
All right, I'll close it out, guys. Thank you for tuning in, listening, viewing it, watching it, listening in your bathtub. I appreciate you guys. We are not sponsored by anybody. If we're looking for sponsorships, I will call you. My lawyer Situals will DM you. But if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe to us. We're back. We're cute, and we're gonna do episode 2. We're gonna get a second person on here from the Good Vibes gang, if you will.
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll do more.
We're not sponsored. We don't make money doing this. If you feel like somebody would enjoy the conversation or listening to the conversation and maybe learn something from this, then share it out. But yeah, we appreciate you guys listening for sure.